So these 8 Desti brides taught me so much about planning a destination wedding, and today I'm sharing my most favoriteest tips that I've learned from them. There's 8, so let's dig in. Let's go. Hey, Desties and bride friends. Welcome back to the Desti Guide to Destination Weddings. I am your hostess, Omi Allen, and this is the show if you are a destination bride, groom, guest, professional, or anyone interested to know what it takes to plan a destination wedding. We talk about what works and what doesn't when planning a destination wedding, and today is a special day. At this point, I'm pretty sure that every day is a special day for me, but for real, today is a really special day. We are winding down the I'm a Desti marathon. Season 1 has come to a close, and Season 2 is right around the corner. So today I am sharing my most favoriteest tips from 8 of the Desti brides that I had the pleasure of interviewing. So it's the early part of the year. This is 2019, and I just really wanted to give a gigantic thank you to the Desti brides and really everybody that has been supportive of Season 1 of the Desti Guide to Destination Weddings. It's been absolutely amazing. I've heard great things from you guys, and I can't wait to share Season 2. But I wanted to take a moment because I really decided to start the Black Desti blog, start the podcast, and interview all types of brides and professionals to find out what it takes to plan a destination wedding. And I started sharing it with you guys, and it's been awesome. It was so very instrumental for me planning my own wedding, and I hope that it's the same for you guys. Anyone who's already seen it and already married, that I hope that it's been great for you. Let me know. And then you guys on your way, the information is oh so evergreen, and it will always be right. Anything that needs to be updated, I'll definitely update. But the information is just really important to make sure that you know that planning a destination wedding and maintaining your sanity is oh so possible. And a lot of the things that you go through, other people have gone through. So we share all of those experiences here. That's what we're all about. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that everything that I went through planning my own destination wedding was not new. It had been done before me. It was done to me, and it will be done after me time and time again. And I just hope that you guys understand the same things. You're not special in this. You are special, okay? Let me not say you're not special. Those things that happen are not exclusive to just you. You're not alone in this. And that's what we're here, and that's what we're here to talk about. So the mission is to help you gain confidence and gain information and some insight and all that happiness and some camaraderie and some sisterhood. And that's what we're going to do today. So Season 1 brought us 8 Desti brides, and I'm about to share their advice with you. And their names are, okay, let's see if I can do this. Rashonda, Sherry Ann, Leah, Shavita, Portia. No. Rashonda, Sherry Ann, Leah, Shavita, Jackie, Portia, Aisha, and Erica. So I was able to chat with these ladies in every single stage of my destination wedding planning. I spoke to them in the early stages of planning, right before the wedding, really close to the wedding, like the week before the wedding, and then also after the wedding. So I am confident to let you know that this information is helpful no matter what stage of planning you're in. They all gave so many wonderful gems, and I'm so happy to be able to share everything that I've learned from them. So I thought it'd be fun and helpful to bring them all together and let you guys know what my favorite tips were. And I look forward to hearing what you guys' favorite tips are. So as you're listening through, as soon as you hear the one that you like the most, hit that thumbs up button and then let me know in the comments which was your favorite episode, your favorite tip. And I'm curious to know what you guys thought too. So let me know. And interestingly enough, combining all of these tips together is what I believe is the formula for a successful destination wedding. I didn't plan it this way, but as I re-listened to each one, and then once I picked them and I re-listened to them over and over again, because that's what I do, I figured out, and I'm pretty sure that this is all that you need. If you can do all of these tips from each of these women, you're in really good, you're in a good space. So that doesn't mean stop listening. That just means that we're already started on a great track, and it's just only going to get better from here. So at the end, I'll bring it all together, because that's together. I saw that. I said bring it all together. What's that black in me? Anyway. Now, so much was learned, and I'm going to share these interview snippets really quickly, but if there are any interviews that you've missed or you'd like to rehear again, what I'm going to do is add links. So if you're watching this, then I will add a card which will pop up right here in this area every time a new tip appears. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, then just probably scroll up, look in the description, and you'll have the link as well for you. And then also, if anyone's watching, the description is always where you can find all links. And speaking of links, for everyone listening and watching right now, DESTILAND will always have additional show notes. So what I'm going to actually have in DESTILAND for you this time is my favorite photo from the wedding gallery, and then also a roundup of the tips again. So you will see that link in DESTILAND whether you are listening or watching. So let's hop in. For starters, I am going to start with number 1, which was Rashonda. Now, Rashonda was my very, very, very first Desti. She's the first person that I even reached out and asked, hey, I love your wedding. Can you share information, help me plan my destination wedding, and then also help the Bride Friends audience too? And just tell us your business and let us dig in. And she said yes. And she was my first interview. So Rashonda was married in Riviera Maya, Mexico, and this is my favorite tip from her.
We were very really diligent about sticking to that budget. It wasn't like, do you know what I'm saying? And so we did the best that we could to estimate. We did based on what we thought we should spend, and also, getting benchmarks about what things would actually cost. So we built a top number, we itemized it down, put in our estimate. So I had a column for estimate or budget, whatever I called it. And then I had the next column, which was actual. If something's coming in actual over budget by X amount of dollars, another line is coming down.
Right.
And we had those discussions all of the time. And we also looked at, what percent of the budget was going to this versus that. Do we really care that much about this, that it should take up 10% of the budget? So, we had a lot of conversations, but we stuck very closely to it.
Now, Rashonda was all about organization and communication. Her spreadsheets were off the chain, and if you can learn anything from her, learn about keeping track of your finances and keeping track of just the budget as a whole and talking to each other. We were really, really great with this. I definitely tapered off towards the end. I lost track of some things, and then I got all these random purchases that I had to make at the very last minute because I just wasn't really as on it as I should have been. So when I tell you guys, learn from my mistakes and learn from Rashonda's experience, that is exactly what I want you to do. You gather all of this information, so make sure that you guys are clear on it and stay clear on it. And speaking of information, episode 2 was with Sherry Ann. Now, Sherry Ann was another Mexico Desti, but she got married in Riviera Nayarit, Mexico, which is on the west coast of Mexico. So for her interview, I struggled between a clip about hair and then this clip right here. But this one is one that you just can't ignore. So I chose it. Here it is.
But originally, the videographer I had selected was somebody who was local. He was from Puerto Vallarta, which is a town next to Nuevo.
Okay.
And he had done a wedding apparently in Puerto Vallarta that I saw, and that I loved the work that he did, or what I thought was his work. So we were going back and forth, and he was asking for through PayPal for payment, and something, and my spirit was telling me, like, something's odd about this, because when I looked at the pictures, the water from that particular wedding was very blue, almost like in the Caribbean.
Like not Mexico, not that area.
Not that side of Mexico. I'd been there before, so I'm like, the water doesn't really look like that. I know people can tweak their filters and all that, but something was just off. And I kept doing a lot of research, and I found the same images, but it was now a part of this other photographer's website. So I said, I'm like, is this the wedding that you did? And he's like, yes, of course, it's on my website. And I'm like, well, there's another photographer saying that these are his images. And they're like, wait, what? And they're like, can you tell us who it is? So I sent them all the information, and it became like a back and forth where they almost like threatened to sue the guy. And the guy was so upset that I called him out, that he started threatening that, he wasn't going to give me my deposit back, or, he would show up there and make my wedding, ruin my wedding. It was just crazy.
Sherry Ann, no. Research, interview, referrals, and reviews. I stress this so often, and it's oh so important. This story that came from Sherry Ann is just the one thing that freaks every single destination bride out at some point. Is this vendor that I'm reaching out real? And what happens if they're not? Because I can't see them and I don't know them. And luckily for her, it actually worked out wonderfully. And you see in her photos, and if you listen to the rest of the interview, you will see just how great it all went. So don't let this fear stop you from planning a destination wedding. Just do what you need to do. Get those referrals and really ask for people. Make sure that you meet these people in person. There's too much technology out there. You've got Skype, you've got FaceTime, you've got freaking like WhatsApps, and now you've got Facebook Messenger where you can do video chat. There's no reason for you not to be able to really make sure that these people that you're sending your money and entrusting with your wedding are who they are. So Sherry Ann, it's another great one, and you guys get on it. Is this your favorite? I don't know. We'll see. I'll know when you do the thumbs up. So let's see. Call multiple referrals and ask for pictures. Dig. If for any reason a vendor is giving you a hard time and doesn't want to let you check every box to make you feel comfortable to work with them, then that's a red flag and you can move on to the next. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Let's go on to the next tip. This is your dream destination wedding, and you want to make sure that your guests have the best time ever, and you want to make sure that you do also. But for real, we all know that we really care about the guests and making sure they have a good time. Which brings me to my napkin fairy, Leah. Leah was in episode 5, and she was absolutely amazing. I mean, they all are. So Leah designed my napkins that I had for my destination wedding. We designed custom napkins, and I'm absolutely in love with them. I will add a photo. I'm sure that you can see it right around this time. But she actually was married in Antigua, Guatemala, and Antigua, Guatemala, and she also was our Desti bride, and she shared some really great information. But my favorite tip from her is this.
My husband he does web design and graphic design, so we created this like really awesome wedding website that was pages of, because we've been coming here so much, we know like if you fly Delta and you're in Houston, you're going to get here at this time. Or if you fly from LA, you're going to get here at this time. And some family in Pittsburgh, you have to stop in Houston. But, it's a red eye. Some are red eyes. Some get in at 4 p.m. Excuse me. So we sort of just listed it all out on the wedding website, what you could do and which airlines bring you here and how to get because the airport is about an hour to Antigua. So how to get, what we could do to sort of arrange. There's going to be a van picking up, 14 people at this time, and this time. And
oh, wow.
That's sort of how we did it.
Yeah. So you guys handled all of the logistics for the most part.
Yeah, we tried. We really tried.
So Leah was all about her guests, and she made sure that wedding website was on point. It's important to make sure that your guests are comfortable and as informed as possible, because they're coming to a random place that more than likely they've never been, or even if they have been, they're coming to support you, but they need to know as much information as possible to do it. So Leah ironed out as many kinks as possible to just make sure that the transition for her guests was as easy as possible. And I cannot tell you just how important that really is. I've talked about this so many times, and it's just so important. People may not already be on board with the decision for you to have a destination wedding, but if you give them that information, then there's no real reason. They have no questions. And then also, while you're planning your wedding, then if they're asking you questions that you've already answered on your website, then just tell them, check out my website. You must not have read the website. Is that why you're asking me these questions? Because you didn't look at the website? Shout out to Patrice. She was the best guest that was all about read that website. So I swear we made changes. I know I made changes as soon as I finished talking to Leah. There were some things that we knew that we needed to add to the website after I spoke to her. So we added them to the website, and she really got into my impulsive nature. And another bride that got into my impulsive nature was Shavita. Now, Shavita was so open, and we chatted as if we've known each other for years. Like, this was the first time that it really was no nerves, and the amount of sharing was crazy, so much that we actually I split it into 2 parts. So there's one place that Shavita has, how do I say this? She has left her mark on me and my photos for life, and probably my guests too. Everything. She has left her mark on my wedding because of this tip. So here it is.
My wedding dress, I would have made my seamstress make it as tight as I wanted to, because she was like, no, you won't be able to sit down. I should have been like, no, make this tight. Because when I look at certain pictures, I'm like, it didn't accentuate my body as much as, I think the pictures look amazing. I love that dress, but it could have been a little bit tighter and fit me in a different way. And I was adamant about it, and she just kind of got her way. And I would have put on my second dress earlier. Yeah, like, I hate, because when I see sometimes other brides with that dress on. I'm like, see, it's supposed to be tighter in the butt. It really is supposed to be tighter in the butt. Yes, they probably could not sit down at their wedding. They probably couldn't. But for pictures' sake, that dress needed to be tight in the butt. But whatever.
Yes, the dress. So we spoke in detail about the dress. One, I was in love with her. She actually wore 2. The one that I was talking about the most was the very first, the ceremony gown. And I also was right in the middle, like at the time that I spoke to her, I was right in the middle of my alterations and driving my seamstress crazy. And after hearing this tip from her, it was just so important to really drive it home, and I felt good. It was one of those, ooh, I'm glad I'm not crazy, and I'm glad I really want this, so I want it, and my dress fits like crazy, like click, click, clow. Like, can I click, click, clow? Can I do that? Because I just did. But it did. It fit wonderfully. Debbie, my seamstress, was absolutely amazing, but thanks to Shavita telling me, one, that she wishes she would have done it, it just made me feel like, you know what, she wishes she would have done it. I can learn from that, and I can really go, hey, I don't really care. So I really went ham on this, and my dress was tight, and I did actually need help getting into the shuttle, but I do not regret one part of that. Not one piece. And more than anything else, forget the seamstress part to it. It just really told me, and I hope that you guys can really get from this, that it's important to talk about what you want. If you want something for this wedding and someone's not understanding it and you feel uncomfortable to kind of push a little bit further, push further. This is your wedding. You don't get a redo, hopefully. Okay, wait. You can actually get a redo if you were considering maybe the renewal, but that's not another wedding. That's a renewal, and that's a whole other place for you to be able to flex that muscle and go, hey, this is what I want. So yes, it's okay to share what you want and to make sure that people really understand where you're coming from. If something doesn't sit well with you, then be vocal about it. And no one helped me understand that it was okay to communicate better than Jackie. Episode 12, Jackie brought over 100 guests to Montego Bay, Jamaica. And this is the most listened to podcast episode, by the way. think the fact that it's the over 100 guests did it, but then also once you listen to it, like, she was super helpful too. But she shared this nugget here.
Right. I would say, destination is supposed to be less stress, So definitely use the people who are coming to lessen the load for you. Those people need to have duties, One thing
that is a good one.
I told my people, talk to everybody, like, make people feel welcome, and your job is to talk to everyone. And I think a lot of my people did a good job of that. Like my cousin and my friend Pooja, they were really good at like talking to people, and also, just making sure people know that you need their help with things. Don't try to take everything on yourself, especially when you're going. You need people to bring stuff. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you bring, whatever it is. And people say they need, oh, what can I do to help? Don't say, oh, no, use them.
We all will have people who help, and they do the, hey, do you need help with anything? And if your knee jerk is anything like mine, then you're like, no, I'm okay, I got this. But fight that urge. Take that help and listen to that. Like, seriously, it's real. You need help. Get help, but not from anyone. Get help from someone who is actually happy to help and really wants to help, and who you can really trust at the same time too. We know that there's those people out there that you can't really trust, and not who you should be able to trust, but who you really can trust. This speaks to you. This speaks to you if this is for you. This is one of those moments right now. But this hit home so well for me that I actually added it to my 15 things to not forget while planning your destination wedding. I believe that was episode 13. Because it really was so helpful. I struggle with not wanting to let people do anything and not trusting, but use the help that you have. Think about it for real and use the help that you have, because you have it. And if this is hitting home from you, let me get that thumbs up and let me know. It's a good one. But seriously, I tend to be fearful of relinquishing power. And this year, we will not be operating from a place of fear. Fear is something that can be paralyzing, and I'm learning to acknowledge, embrace, and release that this year. And we're going to do that together. And a great example of this came from Portia. Now, Portia was my first engaged Desti, and I'm actually looking forward to sharing this. I have another one of these for season 2, where what I did was I interviewed Portia first before her wedding, and we talked about everything. She was actually engaged in Paris and married in Montego Bay, Jamaica. And so we talked in this part that I'm going to share with you. We spoke, and she dropped all types of gems, but a real live bomb on us. And so yes, I'm going to share that. I was about to share more than I needed to share, but I'm sharing my favorite tip. Why am I pointing? I don't know. This is my favorite tip ever, I believe. But from Portia, most sure. I'm going to actually drop a line in the comments to say what my favorite is too. But this is a really, really good one, guys. It's good. It works for your destination wedding, but it works for life. Let me just stop. This is it.
I don't think women should shortchange themselves in any area of life. Like, if you want something, I don't care what it is, like, you should definitely feel like you can have it. And don't feel intimidated, like, oh my gosh, I can't have this. Like, you might have to make some concessions, or you might have to negotiate, or you might need to tweak some things, but you can still, I believe, make it happen.
Absolutely.
And it happens. So.
Say it, yeah. Portia. Speak that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that good? So I told you guys, like, that was a drop mic moment for me. I could have just stopped that interview and been done with it, but she shared so much more. But yes, I agree with Portia wholeheartedly. Do not shortchange yourself. If you want something, figure out a way to get it. You will find a way to make your dreams come true. Do not be fearful, be empowered. You are an amazing individual and you got this. Whatever it is that you and your partner want to do, you guys have the power to do that. I believe that with every piece of me, and just, yes. Thank you, Portia, for this. I'm getting excited. And because we are so amazing and interesting and creative, clearly you're deciding to plan a destination wedding, so you don't exactly fit into a box. Aisha is the next Desti, and I can't wait to share this tip. So Aisha was married in Montego Bay, Jamaica. And as I'm going through this, I realized I have a lot of Montego Bay Destis. It wasn't on purpose, but it just happened that way. Either way, all the information, as you know by now, is interchangeable. It doesn't matter where you're getting married. It just happens to be that these Destis love them some Jamaica. And I love me some Jamaica too. Thumbs up if you like Jamaica. But anyway, Aisha shared this. You just etched it.
I am extremely crafty. Do not get me wrong.
Said, I just etched it. That's what you just said. I don't even know what that entails. I just etched it.
It's just the cream. Yeah, it's just the cream that you put on, and then it'll take to the glass, and it's permanent. I mean, when I tell you, I looked all this stuff up, because when you start to get into favors or personalized engraving or just personalized anything, the price just shoots up, especially with how many people we were thinking about bringing. And it's never, it's quantities of 10. You have to buy 8, or you got to buy 20, or you got to buy 15. Like, it was just, and I feel like if I have the time to do it, or I can make the time to do some of this stuff to save some money, why not? You know, it's a tutorial on everything.
That's true. So Aisha was my DIY Desti. She's crafty, creative, and sweet, to say the least. And this tip is really important. Now, are you going to be out etching your own stuff too? Maybe, but maybe not. But really, more than anything else, what she teaches us is, if you don't think that you have the time, the money, or the ability to do something that you want, there's a way out there to figure it out. So find that tutorial. You're already here, more than likely either listening to a podcast or watching us on TV. So that means you know how to look up some things and figure out how to do it. So if you're thinking you want something and you can't afford it because it might be a little more expensive, but it's something that you could DIY maybe, or figure out how to find something, do that. You are able, and figure it out. You're a big girl or guy. You're a big boo. You're a big Desti. You got this. So don't be discouraged. And even though we may not all be as crafty as Aisha, it is important to still try to find a way to infuse yourselves as a couple into your wedding. And that is really important, to make sure that you guys don't forget that you guys matter in that. And if there's any Desti, and also this happens to be the final tip, which is another I told you guys these tips are good, but this is another, this is like the gavel, like the end, the done. The final tip was from Erica. Now, episode 20 was with Erica, and she was married in Riviera Maya, Mexico. And I actually spoke to her after my wedding, and her decisiveness is crazy. The level of decisiveness, like, seriously, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, is something that I can only dream of. I know I'm the least decisive person that I know, but that doesn't really say much. But anyway, if there's one place that me and Erica align, it's with this tip right here. When you told them you were having a destination wedding, was everyone just like, yay?
I think people were initially like, wow, okay. Not too much pushback. I think from some family members, it was like, oh, well, why would, she do that, knowing like everybody
can't come. Yeah.
And it's kind of like, because you know what? I stopped caring about what everybody else wanted me to do, and I did what I wanted to do, because nobody's helping me pay for this wedding, and so if I'm going to pay for it, then I want it to be exactly what I want at the end of the day. So we decided to put us first, and really my husband wasn't really all for it. A couple of times he's like, are you sure we're making the right decision? Like, here.
Like, are you sure about this? He wasn't really fully on board probably until we got there.
Yeah, and then he was like, yes, I'm so glad we
And
did this.
afterwards, he was like, you know what, babe? Like, this was the right decision. This is what we should have did. So yeah.
Good. I love that though. I love you saying that you guys, you put yourself first, and that's a great way to start your life together. You're starting off on the right foot. Like, it's about us, and doesn't mean we don't love you, but it's about us and what's best for us.
Exactly.
Now, if you don't do anything else, none of these other tips, make sure that you never forget that you are important and you matter. For the sake of life and for the sake of this show right here, what you guys need and what you guys want while planning your destination wedding is oh so important. Yes, being a host and a hostess to your guests for your destination wedding is important. And you want as many people as possible to be there with you and to be on point and in line with you. But at this point in time, it's about you guys, and you need to get tunnel vision with that and understand that that is what's important. So I love this tip, and deciding to make all of your ultimate decisions about you as a couple will serve you in the end and through life. For real, for real. Like for real, for real, for real. So I hold true to that, and I hope that you will do the same. That's that self-love, guys. Don't leave home without it. So that's it. These Desti Brides of Season 1 have provided the ultimate formula for a happy and successful destination wedding planning experience. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I know that I did. I can't wait to hear what your favorite tip was, so don't forget to drop that in the comments below. But let me run through those really quickly again for you. 1, organization and communication. 2, thorough research. 3, informed guests. 4, a dress or outfit that you love. 5, asking for help. 6, being fearless and empowered. 7, infusing yourself into projects. And 8, making self-loving decisions. That's all you need to pull off a destination wedding. And hell, that's all you need in life in general. So that sounds like some goals. So I thank you, Rashonda, Sherry Ann, Shavita, Jackie, Portia, Aisha, and Erica. I'm getting good at this. It's 8 names and woo. But thank you, ladies. You will forever be my first Desties. I learned so much from you, and you will forever be able to help Desties because they can always listen and find these interviews. And thank you. So I'm grateful for you, and to you, my Desties and Bride friends, thank you so very much for listening and for hanging in with me. I hope that season 1 has been amazing for you. It's been awesome for me. I thank you for being so supportive and for giving me feedback and letting me know and asking me questions so that I can help you plan these Desti weddings. So thank you for hanging out with me here on Desti TV. The Desti Guide to Destination Weddings season 2 is right around the corner. So make sure that you subscribe and ding that bell so that you will be notified of the very next episode. And again, all photos and details are waiting for you in DESTILAND. That link is below. And if you're new here, welcome to DESTILAND. Make sure that you subscribe and ring that bell so that you are notified of brand new episodes. Be sure to hang out, dig around Desti TV a little bit. You'll see that we actually have over 20 episodes at this point. So it's plenty for you to dig in. And then when season 2 comes live, you will be notified because you've already subscribed and ding that bell. And please introduce yourself. If you are planning a destination wedding or you are going to a destination wedding, give me that hashtag I'm a Desti and let me know when you're getting married and where you're getting married, or when the wedding is and where the wedding is, and I will be the person to help you. I'm telling you now, I'm gonna put this out there. Let me know where you're getting married and when you're getting married, and I'm going to find a Desti Pro to help you understand what it takes to get married there, and then also a Desti Bride to give you some extra gems. So yes, I hope you have a great day, and until next time, I'm wishing you all the best week of your life and reminding you to have the time of your life while planning the best days of your life. Bye guys.